Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Lim-Nakran. Taking a look at some of the top stories that we're following right now, let me just show you the footage of this massive fire tearing through an apartment building in Upper West Midtown. So people who live in this apartment building damaged by fire are growing increasingly frustrated. They can't even get in to get their things following this destruction that you're looking at. So people who live in that building, they really want some answers. Here's Atlanta News First reporter Don Shipman with more.
2 days and still the 100 plus people who live in this Northwest Atlanta apartment complex have yet to assess what's left of their belongings.
Oh, we're not leaving until they get here. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and those questions are mounting.
Fire restoration crews on the scene tasked with inspecting structural integrity. The fire at Bell Collier Village apartments on Howell Mill Road Saturday night ripped across the roof of the building. The fire so intense, Atlanta Fire and Rescue saying the 2 upper floors of this 4-story building collapsed. Kyle Dyck's apartment is on the 2nd floor, but in an adjacent building.
We have 2 cats in that apartment, and they have water and they have food and they have a litter box. But for how long? How long will that last?
We were told until further notice we weren't allowed in, but I'm kind of hoping, I'm praying. I work from home.
Michaela Smith, also returning to the building, met by security. She's hoping to gather her things, including her work computer.
Right now, it looks like it's just major damage to this side. Yeah. There's some water damage to that side from what I understand, but I just don't know where.
Today, as residents look to retrieve important keepsakes and life-saving medications, all are grateful no one was hurt. But that doesn't mean they're not still frustrated.
There's condolences and sorries all around, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate that empathy, but I need more empathy from the people who have the power to make decisions.
And thanks so much to Don Shipman for that report. Of course, we're going to keep following the latest developments there. Summer is winding down for so many people, of course, for the kids especially, and even though it's not even August, already 2 North Georgia school districts are back in session for the fall semester. Last Friday was Chattooga County in far northwest Georgia. Today it's Newton County, about 35 miles east of Atlanta. Atlanta News First, Rebecca Schramm reports from just outside the city of Covington.
The calendar still says July, but it is back to the books here in Newton County. We've been watching as students arrive here at Fairview Elementary School for the first day of school. Most Metro Atlanta school districts start Thursday, which will be August 1st. In Atlanta, they've been working over the summer on upgrading security at several schools. They've actually put in bulletproof glass at some of the entry doors. Fulton County is one of a few districts where students go back next Monday. The superintendent of Fulton County Schools tells us teachers have been busy.
Our teachers have been working all summer preparing for the arrival of students. They've been going through professional learning exercises, advanced placement course training. Once again, I have seen teachers in buildings all summer long making final preparations for their students' arrival.
Something interesting here in Newton County as students get back to school today, thanks to a federal program, every student in the district is now eligible for free breakfast and lunch every day without parents having to fill out a form. Near Covington in Newton County, Rebecca Schramm, Atlanta News First.
Thanks so much to Rebecca for that report. In Cobb County, 2 commission seats are back up for grabs after a judge ruled that the county used an unconstitutional electoral map in their most recent election. Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Beinfort explains what it means for voters.
If you live in Cobb County and voted in the recent primary for District 2 or the District 4 commission seat, those results no longer count. They're being thrown out, and you must now head back to the polls again.
The people who won did not win, the people who lost did not lose, and they have to start all over again.
This week, a Superior Court judge ruled that Cobb County's electoral map used in their most recent election was unconstitutional. This all stems back to 2022, when Cobb commissioners redrew voting lines, keeping Democrat Jerrica Richardson in her district after the Republican-controlled state legislature had drawn her out.
Regardless of the politics, you have to follow the law, and in this case, the Board of Commissioners didn't do so, and they made an unconstitutional power grab to try to redraw election district lines.
Attorney Chuck Boring represents Cobb resident Alicia Adams, who was disqualified from running for District 2 under the new map. She filed a lawsuit against the board, and this week Judge Kelly Hill ruled in her favor, saying the county must use the map drawn by state lawmakers.
These are maps that are reviewed and handled by the General Assembly with a lot of backstops to make sure, voting rights are recognized. With the county doing it, there's no oversight, and so that's one of the reasons why the law is the way it is.
In a statement, District 1 Commissioner Kelly Gambrell said, "I am pleased the judge has upheld the law and the Constitution once again." Chairwoman Lisa Cupid said, "I respect the judge's ruling, and we are assessing how to proceed."
And per the judge's ruling, a new special election must be held as soon as possible. The Cobb County Board of Elections says it likely, though, will not take place until after the November election. Reporting in Cobb County, Chelsea Vine for Atlanta News First.
And thanks so much to Chelsea for that report. Let's talk about our restaurant report card. You may have seen that picture hung up in a restaurant or a public space around town. Apologize. We're moving on to a different story. Apologize for that. A local cafe in North Fulton County in hot water this week after failing an inspection with a score in the 40s. But first, our Adam Murphy has a reservation for you at a well-known French bistro with a perfect health score.
Bonjour, my friends. This week is all about the world on your plate, and it's right here in Atlanta. We're at Bread and Butterfly on Elizabeth Street, nestled in the heart of Inman Park. This is a French bistro by day, and then they serve French African cuisine by night. It's an intimate dining experience inside. They have an enchanting patio outside to enjoy on a nice day. And then while you're waiting on your meal, you might grab a coffee or a pastry at the bar. We're going to talk about the dishes on the menu in a moment. But first, here's this week's Best and Worst Score. On Mill Creek Avenue in Alpharetta, a popular bistro is now dealing with an unpopular health inspection score. Tuscany Cafe failed a routine inspection with only 43 points and a U for unsatisfactory. The report says an employee handled soiled equipment and then prepared food without washing hands. Plus, food items were stored in a broken cooler, and there were flies throughout the entire kitchen.
I wouldn't serve anybody anything I wouldn't eat myself.
The owner assured us she has everything in order and said the health department conducted an over-the-top inspection.
A lot of these things were very minor things, but because she was training two guys with her, she made a big deal of it.
The owner told us she has been in business for nearly 2 decades, and no customer has ever gotten sick. Plus, she said she has a history of scoring A's.
We've been here 18 years in November. We've always had a 90 and above. We've never had a problem.
Now to an update in Cobb County. The Happy Taco on Bells Ferry Road in Ackworth is beyond happy after earning 98 points and an A on a reinspection. And back here at Bread and Butterfly on Elizabeth Street in the heart of Atlanta's Inman Park, they earned a 100 on their last health inspection. You know what that means. Congratulations. They are the winner of this week's Golden Spatula Award. To get started, you can try the burrata salad. They have Haitian spaghetti, the French countryside sandwich, Haitian patty over here, which is a nice puff pastry, and so much more on the menu. It's time to enjoy. Bon appetit. I'm going to go with the sandwich, and we will see you all next week. Boy, that's good.
And take a look at this. You may have seen this picture hung up in a restaurant, maybe a public space around town. The He Ain't Heavy painting is an internationally known piece of black art with a message that runs deeper than the surface. Atlanta News First reporter Brittany Ford sat down with the artist whose work has touched millions.
Well, you can find street art all across Atlanta, but this painting here off Memorial Drive, well, it's iconic. The artist behind it calls Atlanta home, and he took us inside his studio where he is continuing to create legendary black art.
Not only are we looking for help, but we need to help ourselves.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
When I go to young schools or with young people and old people, and everybody alike understands immediately what's going on in this picture.
The message depicted in this painting has transcended decades.
I'm Gilbert Young, and I'm an artist and have been for all my life.
Gilbert Young is an internationally renowned artist, muralist, and conservator, famously known for his piece, He Ain't Heavy.
It's phenomenal for me to be sitting here some 42 years later talking about a piece that I done in the basement of my home.
Young says he was inspired to bring a message of hope during the civil rights movement.
I was sitting there thinking that a great deal of this condition that we are in is internal. That if we would reach back and help our brothers.
Millions of copies of the painting have been sold worldwide, growing Young's popularity as an artist with political edge capturing the strength and struggle of African Americans.
Don't sell your house, and gentrification of our community.
This painting of President Barack Obama, his second prized possession.
It ended up one of the only pieces in history that a president has signed.
And at 83 years young, he says he's just getting started.
People would look at that and know that that's a very iconic piece of Black art. You know, talk about the reach that it has.
Well, the reach is remarkable from my standpoint. First of all, it changed my life. It's a piece that made me who I am today, because every day I have to live up to the image that I have created.
In Atlanta, Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
And much more on this and all of our top stories on atlantanewsfirst.com and our free mobile news app. Thanks so much for being with us. Have a great day.